everyone, and welcome to a Drinks with Johnny Thirsty Thursday. No, this one's going to be Friday. It's a Thursday that we're recording right now, but we're going to drop this tomorrow morning. Sam is messing with his mom right now. We just entered the room. How you doing, Sam?
I'm doing good. My mom just left. She just made a surprise visit right when we were about to push record. So
why are you so rude to your mother, by the way? That was like so rude.
Oh, don't say that. She will eat that up. Then say, see, told you, Sam. So no, I love my mom, and she's one of our biggest fans.
So she actually listens to the show?
She is one of the few family members that actually listen to the show.
None of my family members listen to the show. I don't know. I think my dad does, maybe. I think because
Brandon, do you have anybody that
I have people at work that would tell me things that I say on the show. And I'm like, how do you know that? And they're like, we listen to the show. I was like, oh wow, maybe I should start watching what I actually say on here.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that after all the crap you guys give me about me masking some stuff for my job, but yeah, it happens. We can't all be rock stars, like unapologetic rock stars like Johnny.
Someone's got to do it. Not everyone can, but someone's got to do it.
Yeah, we don't get canceled. We get fired.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, getting canceled is actually probably a good notch on the belt these days. I feel like everyone who gets canceled is coming back like bigger and better than ever. It's crazy.
You want to get canceled right now?
Yeah, how?
Wow.
Don't put Brando on that. It will happen.
I love how we're starting this today, guys. This is a fantastic conversation already. I'm excited. You guys could tell that I am not at my home bar, even though I think, Brandon, you might be at my home bar. It looks like you're at my home bar.
I am. I'm watching it for you just in case.
I'm actually in Ohio right now. Just arrived for tomorrow's show at, what are they calling this one? Sonic Temple. Had dinner with Danny Wimmer and Danny Hayes last night at a really nice steakhouse. It was a really fun dinner, complete with laughs and business talk as well. So it was really cool. Been friends with those guys for a long time, so good to see them. And this background right here is part of my hotel room. There's a fucking bed over there, but you can't see that. I'm not showing you where I'll be sleeping tonight.
Where's the VR goggles? I don't see them.
They're next to the bed. They're next to the bed. Don't worry. We were talking about that last night.
Earlier.
Yeah, exactly. That's why.
Filthy Friday. That's what this is, guys.
Filthy Friday. Yeah.
Fuck.
Man, we got in LA. My buddies were texting me if I was going to go to it. Avenged Sevenfold. We're doing an art show. Did you see that, Sam?
I did. I saw the post. Yeah. I'm loving this artist that you guys picked to do all the art. So do you know much about it? I know, are they just doing like a play and then playing of the album and then around the art?
Samantha at the office told me a while ago this plan, and now I've forgotten it. I forgot it was even going to happen. So I know that there's going to be the art, and it's another kind of, I don't want to say immersive experience, because then it makes people think of the augmented reality stuff we did in Vegas. It's not that. It's an art show, complete with a lot of Wes Lang's art. I think we might even have, I don't want to say anything for sure, so don't quote me on this, but I think we even have like some props and stuff going up and whatnot. So just an experience, like a pop-up. But I mean, we're so happy with Wes Lang's art on this record. Obviously, I mean, we knew he was going to knock it out of the park. That's why you fucking work with a guy like Wes Lang. Or we were fortunate enough that he even was willing to work with us, to be honest, on this one. So, having his artwork accompany this, album and piece of music that we're putting together, it's too fucking good. we wanted everyone to like have an experience with it. So, that's basically what that is. I get home Saturday morning though, and Lacey has a tennis tournament, so I'll be with a Frankie. I could probably get I just don't know if I'm going to go up to LA yet or not. My original plan was to go, and now that the day's actually here, I'm kind of like, I'll see. So if you're going to go, you may see me, you may not.
I feel like you're going to be pretty hungover on Saturday too.
Nah, I'm a good boy.
Well, okay. I just got a feeling.
Why would I be hungover? I've got a show tonight or tomorrow night. Yeah, tonight, because we're releasing this tomorrow.
Yeah, because after your show.
Don't confuse me.
After my show,
5 in the morning, you're just going to stumble onto the plane?
Yeah. Well, I can't do what I did in Vegas. That's for sure. Because we have a lobby call at 7:30 in the morning to get to our 9:40 flight. So,
We'll
yeah,
be all right.
that's not going to happen. And I'm
Well,
not
that was a
staying up till
celebration
7:30.
too. You know,
That was the first one. That was
Yeah.
the first one.
We'll see how the night goes.
I did.
Brandon,
forget
you
that
going?
Brandon's going to be there.
Yeah.
You're there, right?
I technically am there right now.
So
See what you did there.
there will be an influence there then.
Yeah, of
That's what I
course.
thought.
Yeah.
My dad's going to be out too, though. You're going to meet Daddy, the real Daddy Christ.
I'm excited because
I've never met him.
Yeah, you want
he's
to.
funny online. He comments on a lot of shit.
Does he? I haven't looked in a long time.
Oh yeah, he used to get on all the live chats during the cringy era of live.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I
right.
got my cringiness from. It doesn't fall far from the cringe tree.
Oh,
Yeah, man. It'll be exciting. Because, I mean, it's his first show in a long time, too, obviously. So it'd be good to have some family there like I did last week in Florida. That was awesome.
How was Florida?
so-
I didn't really get to talk to you guys about it.
Didn't we talk about it on the podcast?
yeah, we did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you
It was
talking
good.
about?
Frankie came out. So what did you go out the next day though? Did you just come home?
No, we stayed until Sunday. Actually, we had the show Friday night, and we stayed the next 2 days at the hotel resort, which was
Oh, that's
really
right.
nice. Yeah, it was a really great resort that we stayed at. Super kid friendly, as like everything is in Orlando. Like, there's not a resort that's not kid friendly in Orlando. So, really cool. Yeah, had a really nice dinner at the rooftop bar with Lacey. Dropped Frankie off at the kids camp. There's a Michelin star restaurant at there.
Ooh.
Yeah, everything was good. Brian and Michelle also had reservations at the same time, so we pretended not to see each other as we went into the restaurant, and then they sent us over some beluga caviar. So it was that kind of night. It was that kind of fancy ass night. We had a good time.
Nice. And we get to see each other for Memorial Day party at your house.
Memorial Day weekend. This weekend, big weekend. We're gonna get into it. Yeah, barbecue at my house on Monday. Sam, Brandon, if you want to fly out for it, feel free. I doubt you will though.
He's already there. Look at him.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
here.
already at the bar.
I'm getting everything ready.
But so I got the tennis tournament, we got the art show this weekend, and then of course what I think the three of us are most excited for, at least I'll speak for myself, what I'm most excited for this weekend isn't even what we're doing with my band. It's AEW's Double or Nothing from Las Vegas, the big pay-per-view with our boy Darby, who we just had on the show earlier this week, is going to be doing his first main event pay-per-view match. And I think that's super special for him. Couldn't be more proud, as we talked a lot about it on the episode. And then just watching Dynamite last night, man, I got more hyped. I was already really hyped, and then like last night's Dynamite, the Go Home edition was awesome. Did you guys catch it?
I saw a clip.
So yeah,
that
I
he-
skipped around a little bit. I was being a dad, right? So Owen didn't go to sleep till fucking like 11 o'clock. So I was kind of chasing him around while I was watching. So I caught bits and pieces.
Does
I
he
got
pay
you.
attention at all to it, or
Yeah.
do you like wrestle around with him during it, or?
Yeah, he does because he knows some moves now, man. And they hurt.
Does he got a mean drop kick? I think that was like Frankie's first move was a drop kick.
Right now he's on the Banzai drop. He's got the Rikishi down, man. We watched a lot of old
sick.
school too. So he's got the butt drop down.
That's a must. I like
Yeah.
it. I like it. So yeah, I know you skipped around. Sam said he saw clips. Thanks for doing your guys' homework. You knew we were gonna do this today, and you didn't watch the whole thing like I did.
I didn't know.
All right, dude.
We talked about it on the podcast when we literally said goodbye to Darby. I said let's follow up after Dynamite, and we'll have a follow up of us talking about the fucking pay-per-view.
Yeah.
There was no direct text message that said, "Hey guys, watch Dynamite tonight."
I got to
We're gonna-"
follow up. I got to follow up
Yes.
my spoken word with a text message these days.
Yes.
You guys.
To be honest, I wouldn't have had time this week anyways.
I know.
My-
It's
my
all good.
wife
I'll
owns the
walk.
controller till the weekend.
You know what? I'm gonna walk you guys through what happened
Please.
on Wednesday's Dynamite,
Please.
and I'll tell you what I'm excited about. So, yeah, you got the main event we already covered. You know, MJF cut an. So first, Jungle Boy does a little promo that he's recorded and about him getting to Las Vegas the night before, right? And he's talking about how each time he's been at Double or Nothing and driven into into Vegas, he's a little bit of a different person. There's a little bit of something going on, but he's ready to take everything and win this title on Sunday night. So he does a pretty cool promo there. Later on in the night, MJF comes out to the ring. He's cutting a promo, and Darby comes out. And there was a couple interesting things on MJF. His promo that he was cutting on Darby. He was like, I don't care if you're gonna go walk or trip over yourself trying to hike Mount Everest or whatever. And I was like,
he brought it up.
Did MJF listen to our podcast?
Right.
I don't know if that's the case, or I'm sure Darby's talked about it other times too. I don't know, but it did make me pause for a second. You're like, did he just reference something from our podcast that Darby talked about? Because I didn't know that, Darby was climbing Everest. Apparently, everyone knows. I think it's awesome, but
Yeah.
I don't know why you're surprised.
Shit on everybody.
Everyone listens to this, including MJF. So MJF, come on.
I know everybody
on
listens to it, but MJF is just so highbrow. I didn't know if he would come down as a lowbrow for that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I know, but we have, he's into the crooners, the Italian singer scene. We've had.
Hey, dude, he did do that Louis
where,
Prima thing. That was sick. A few weeks ago.
I think we got some similarities. Hopefully, more to come on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to have that guy come on and roast us because he wouldn't break character. He'd just fuck with us the whole time. It would be amazing. It'd be one of my favorite, probably be my favorite episode by the end of it. I would imagine. And
that would be a lot of fun.
And then I'd be really hurt because then he'd be like, "No, that wasn't character, dude. I just fucking hate your guts." And I'd be like, "Never meet my heroes. Never meet my heroes."
You're like, that was too close to home.
yeah, totally. But so they come out. They cut a great promo. And then of course, Sammy Guevara comes out. Jungle Boy comes out. They're getting everybody ready for that title match. But the other thing I'm really excited about is they're doing another Anarchy in the Arena. This with the Blackpool Combat Club. That's a fucking mouthful. That's why they always just says BCC now. So they are the four of them are going against the Young Bucks. Adam Page. Sorry, I almost said Adam Cole. Adam Page and Kenny Omega, and they have all, stood up in the ring together now and said, "We are the Elite." So the Elite is back and in full flow and full mode. And as you guys remember last year when they did an Anarchy in the Arena with Jericho and the BCC. That match was insane. It might have stolen the show, but I mean, you also had Punk there. There was so much going on. It was just a great show in general, but that was one I know all of us were popping for. So to get another Anarchy in the Arena at T-Mobile, I think they just have to have an Anarchy in the Arena every time they come around now, right?
Yeah.
Oh man,
if it's a staple, I'm for it because that was a great match. It was amazing to see live. There was just so much shit going on, and I think the biggest pop last year was when Eddie came out with the fucking thing of gasoline. Was going to set.
Oh, that's right.
He
was going to fucking burn his ass. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That shit's just so over the top when they do Anarchy in the Arena that I love it. And honestly, you miss a little bit being in the arena, but I think it was still better being there. I watched it back, the pay-per-view, of course, because I'm that big of a fan. And I wanted to see, you get a different perspective live versus home. Like same way when we went to WrestleMania this year, Sam. I watched it live there, and then I watched it at home, because I wanted to see the camera angles, everything that's going on, and just the whole production value of the pay-per-view versus being there live. I got to say, Anarchy in the Arena, if you are one of the lucky ones listening to this right now and going to be in the arena for that, I'm jealous because that shit was so cool to see. Like, just looking around everywhere. Where the fuck is everybody?
Yeah.
What are they doing? It was gnarly. I loved it.
Dude, it's the atmosphere of the arena. It legit feels like fucking anarchy, right? Like,
absolutely.
You go to the snack booth and try to get some nachos. Like, bro, there could be people coming right out at you because they're just everywhere. They're taking over the entire arena.
And what do you do with your nachos if you're one of those fans, Brandon? Do you offer them nachos? Do you stand there and just casually continue eating, knowing that you're on film, or do you just hold it in awe?
Well, it's
I don't know, man.
Because some of them were in line to get nachos, and they literally knocked over the nacho bar or whatever. So I'd be like, Yeah, I've been in line for an hour to get nachos, and you just
Wait. Who's waiting in an hour-long line
well, you know
for
what I mean.
nachos?
You know what I mean. It'd be bittersweet.
No, it'd be a
it's
long time.
still
Yeah, it would
badass
be. You'd
to
be
try
like,
in front of you.
oh, but I'm still hungry. Like,
Yeah.
fuck. No,
Yeah.
I get you on that.
I gotta
that
say, one of the matches that I did catch a little bit of was Taya Valkyrie and Lady Frost, which
Yes.
props to Lady Frost because she's a friend from the Pittsburgh area. So congrats. That's
She
awesome
is.
that you got your Dynamite debut.
That was, I mean, it was in a loss, but I mean, she looked good. I mean, the match was good. I agree. I actually saw that one live before I went to dinner because before I went to dinner, I popped it on and then I recorded it and I watched the rest of it today. But yeah, that was a good match. I'm excited for that with Taya and Jade Cargill because they've brought in just about everybody that's not on a WWE roster at this point to try and take down Jade.
Yeah.
And no one's been able to do it. So I'm just curious, are they going to run out? Is the streak going to continue for no losses? I mean, Goldberg in the 90s famously, what did he get to? Like 177 or some shit like that?
He was up there. Yeah.
It was
It took a
really
taser or a cattle prod to get him down. So
yeah, from Scott Hall. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
Man. But I mean, is that what they're going to have to do? Is someone going to have to cheat to take down Jade? But Jade's like, she's not the baby face in this either. She's got a streak and
No.
she's a heel, which is so interesting because Goldberg, the streak, and he was the ultimate baby face for the company, right?
yeah.
So it's just interesting. When do you pull the plug on this streak? I'm really curious to see because, and I love Jade. I got to meet Jade when we were at the show in January. She's absolutely as beautiful on TV as she in person as she is on TV. She's just everything about her, so the confidence, everything like that. She's a beautiful person, let's say, and she was really nice to meet. So I'm a fan, and of course I like the heels too. I think everybody listening to the show at this point knows that I have a thing for all the heels. So yeah, that's going to be a great match. What else is there? There's the tag team match. I'm really excited for.
Yeah.
For the world titles. Was it FTR and Double J and
Jay Lethal.
Jay Lethal with Mark
That
Briscoe.
dude.
Mark Briscoe as the referee. So he came out last night and slapped everyone in the face. He literally slapped everyone on both sides. He's like, I'm calling, like, basically kind of they're setting it up so that he doesn't have a motive in the match, right?
You're going to try to keep it fair. Yeah, that'll be a good match. Dude, the fact that Jeff Jarrett is in a championship match on one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year in 2023, good for that dude. I don't know what he knows. I don't know what he knows, but damn, he knows something to be in that spot.
I mean, he's part of one of those blue-blooded wrestling families. When you think about it, I mean, the Jarretts he's made to do this. That's what his purpose is. So I mean, and to that point, dude looks amazing. Like, I know the guy gets a lot of shit on social media and everything. All the hardcore wrestling fans are like, Jeff Jarrett this, Jeff Jarrett that. He's going to come in and ruin the company. I'm like, dude, relax. The guy is a different person now. Like, he's been through a lot. He's in great shape. He enjoys doing it. Why the fuck not? Why you got to hate on a guy who just enjoys doing what he's put on this planet to do,
He's there to be a heel. He's a great fucking heel because people hate him.
Yeah, people hate him in real life. That's what makes a perfect heel. I mean, we had Jake Roberts on here, Jake the Snake, years ago, and he's talking about how a lady fucking believed that she hated him so much based on just his character, she slashed a fucking razor blade across his fucking back. Like, that's ultimate heel shit. I love that.
Oh, it's great. I am excited for that match because even FTR, those dudes are like old school wrestling, right? Those dudes, they look like they walked out of the 80s. So this will be a great match, just technical wrestling. It's going to be fucking awesome.
I couldn't agree more. And Briscoe being a part of it, they're playing off the angle of, all those ROH matches that FTR and the Briscoes had, legendary matches, obviously. If you haven't seen them, you should go check them out because I didn't watch them live. Brandon, you told me to go make sure I checked that last one out.
Yeah.
It was almost a year ago now. Fucking insane. Yeah. Great tag team match.
Oh, good stuff.
I wanted to ask you, Brandon, because I don't know if Sam will have any clue about what I'm about to ask.
Okay.
And I don't know that much, but I know that you were a bigger. I think he came from ECW. Sabu came out.
That's where we're going with this.
Enforcer.
All right. So, all right, so Sabu's fucking
You got to
awesome.
educate me. You got to educate me on Sabu a little bit. I know a little bit. I know, like I said, I
Yeah,
believe it was ECW
yeah,
that he really made his mark in the wrestling world on. And
yeah.
I've heard about him on podcasts and stuff, but I didn't watch him enough. I wasn't an ECW guy. So
Yeah,
fill me in on how big that is.
that's huge. Well, all right, because I got some hate towards that whole angle, so we'll talk about that separate. We'll build up Sabu first, though.
Okay.
Sabu was fucking great. He invented a lot of moves that had never been seen before in a wrestling ring back in the early '90s in ECW. He had this whole gimmick where they had him chained to a gurney, had like Hannibal Lecter mask on. Like it was a whole thing. Like he was nuts, right? Like that's how they built him
I
up.
love this already.
He would come out and just jump through tables himself and break the tables and just be insane. But over time that evolved and it developed into more of a character. And dude, Sabu is infamous for like some of his barbed wire massacre matches. Him and Terry Funk have a great one where they take the ropes off of the
Ah,
ring, wrap it with just barbed wire, and they just go at it.
Terry Funk
There's a
is the
match,
best,
I
by
think
the
it's
way.
like 95, 96, 97, where infamously, like Sabu went up against the barbed wire. It slit his bicep, like clean, like deep. And
Whoa.
they didn't stop the match. He just had his manager go to the back, get super glue, and they glued it up and he taped it and they just kept going. So Sabu's badass. The dude is
That's not
hardcore.
kayfabe, right? That's
He
real.
lives up to his moniker, the homicidal, suicidal, genocidal. Like he is legit. Now, them bringing him into this angle, come on, man. You're talking Adam Cole and Roderick Strong against 5 on the JAS side, right? And they're bringing
Right.
in Sabu, who's like fucking, he looks good for his age, but come on, man. He's like 60 years old. What's he going to do?
I think I think you missed it, but this is what you get for not doing your homework. He's just there as a special enforcer. It's the match
Bullshit.
is Jericho versus Adam Cole.
Okay, if he's an enforcer, he's already biased because he's throwing chairs at the JAS. This
Yeah.
not, come on. Come
I
on.
think that's why. But he's there to help. I don't know because it's a no holds barred match. It's non-sanctioned. If I could say the fucking
Non-sanctioned.
word, non-shade. Can't even. Fucking A, I'm not. You said it right. Whatever.
Yeah, it's a non-sanctioned match. All right, here
Non-shade.
I'm putting this out there in the universe, and
Sanctioned.
you can call me
Sanctioned.
wrong.
There it is. Sanctioned.
Well,
Non-sanctioned.
you
Jeez.
could call me wrong on Monday or next week's podcast or whatever. I'm saying you see the return of Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, and you have the Undisputed Era put back together in
Oh, I
a
think that's actually a great call. I was thinking about whatever happened to those guys because when
yeah,
Adam Cole got hurt, I was actually like on a professional level. I was like, man, that's gotta suck if like you're in a group and one of the guys go down, and he was the guy that was carrying the storyline. I mean, because
yeah,
Adam Cole was. I mean, let's call it what it was. He's carrying that
yeah.
storyline. So I was like, man, what do these guys do? Luckily, as we learned from Darby, AEW is the most open company there is out there. So I'm sure they were able to find work and still provide for their families and do all those things that you need to do as a professional human. But as far as storyline and developing, because I thought before Adam got hurt, man, that shit was cool. Like he was a great heel. And of course, when he comes back, he's not going to be a heel. You can't be a heel after that long. No one's going to root against you,
Right.
So have him come back. I would like to see that. I would like to see that for those two guys too. And I think you're right. That completes a 5-on-5. I think you might be onto something there.
That was my initial thought because I'm like, when they brought Sabu out, I'm like, okay, this is cool, like good for Sabu, but this is weird. Like, where is this going? And okay, how else are they going to even the odds? Who makes sense here? And I'm like, oh, those guys that obviously they haven't been on TV in so long. They haven't really popped up anywhere else. Bobby Fish was in TNA for a hot second, but that
Oh,
was
was he?
gone. That was like a cup of coffee, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. I think we see that happen. So you can call me
Either
wrong
way, I
on
mean,
Monday.
either way, we'll follow up on that for sure on Monday. But
Yeah,
either way, I'm really excited for that match.
yeah,
I know that Jericho has just been. I even texted him like a couple months ago, and I was like, honestly, dude, the way that you're in your 25th year of professional wrestling career, and you're just putting over so many of the new guys over in your company right now, and really blending the lines too. I mean, I think he's always done this in his career, but I never recognized it until just a few months ago. So I texted him. I was like, dude, this is really cool the way you're like bringing everybody into your storylines and your ability, the Hall of Famer that he obviously is, and just really putting over everybody. And I think it's really good. And each guy gets their time to shine with Jericho, and I think that's really cool. Adam Cole is already a badass to me. I love Adam Cole. For everything about his charisma when he comes out. Me and Frankie pop when you get the Adam Cole, baby. It's all about the boom. Yeah. It's a great. I guess somewhat of a gimmick, but I just think he's just got great charisma, and he's a great wrestler too. So really happy to see him back in a pay-per-view. I mean, has he wrestled? He didn't wrestle last night, so I haven't seen him in the ring since. He's been talking a lot, but I haven't seen him wrestle since.
Yeah, I don't think he has. I think this would be his first match, right?
Yeah, that's a good first match to come back to. Pay-per-view against Chris Jericho. That's fucking sick.
It's be awesome, dude. It's going to be a great card. The one thing I want to ask you if you noticed, because I saw it, I think it was during the opening match, there was a split second where there was a static screen where it kind of looked like the broadcast feed got dropped, but it didn't because they still had the AEW logo in the corner. So it was something that they obviously pushed through. It wasn't a broadcast drop. What do you think that was?
To be honest, I didn't notice it. It was in the first match. What was the first match? That was Ricky Starks.
No. It was Orange Cassidy and Fletcher.
Oh, and the Aussie. That was a great match. I forgot about that match. That was a I don't know much about that Aussie dude. Fletcher.
Aussie. So you should check them out, Aussie Open, because their leader is fucking great, Will Ospreay. He has some.
Well, I know Will Ospreay. I know that he came from that camp, but but I've never watched them when they do those crossovers when they come over and get past the forbidden door. I've seen Will Ospreay. He's amazing. I saw him last year or whatever at the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. That was fucking sick. Great wrestlers, great talent. I should have known this guy Fletcher would have been the same, like have that same caliber of stuff. And who better than our friend Orange Cassidy to be holding this title that is basically, they call it the international title, but come on, it's the Forbidden Door title. But can we just call it the Forbidden Door title? Every time you just bring somebody in from around the world, which I think is brilliant. And who better? Orange Cassidy is such a good in-ring worker and character that he can go with anybody. That's why it's like, it could be fly the dude in fucking 24 hours before, and I'm gonna have a good match with him. That's what Orange Cassidy represents. Speaking of, I'll get back to your question in a second, Brandon, but it just segues too perfectly. The fact that Orange Cassidy is gonna do a 21-person blackjack match for his title, I'm really interested to see what that is, because it's a battle royal that he's gonna be in, and have the title up to the winner against 21 other people. That's I know that it's just ridiculous, and I love we don't even know who the people are going to be yet, right? They're just going to pick people from the fucking locker room and just throw them out there. It's going to be complete madness. And I just knowing Orange, like, as we do, like, I just think that he's going to have so much fucking fun with this match. Like,
it has some funny parts. There's going to be some good bits in there. Comedy bits, some good spots. It's going to be it'll be entertaining for sure.
Abso-fucking-lutely. And actually, to answer your question, I do think that we get a surprise. Something surprise happens during that too. I think it's going to be I don't know who. I can't venture a guess because I don't know international wrestlers like you do, Brando. I stick to AEW and WWE. That's all I have time for. And there was a few years there when I was not watching wrestling regularly, so I fell back a little bit. However. So I wouldn't even be able to venture a guess on who it's going to be, but I think it's going to be being a pay-per-view. I think someone's going to sign. I think it's going to be somebody big enough that they're going to sign as All Elite and not just be a Forbidden Door match or storyline that they're going to build up.
I think you're spot on, dude, because that's the next show after this one, right? It's Forbidden Door.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is.
So
Oh shit! I didn't even put that together. Look at you, Brando.
it makes sense. It makes sense. Dude, honestly, though, look, it goes Double or Nothing, Forbidden Door, and then they're going Wembley, right? So this is a big fucking arc for them. This is great. Like,
Yeah, and when Wembley's going to be huge. I can't.
of course. I think I don't know where they're at now, but like when we checked in last week, it was like what 60,000 seats sold already.
Whoa! It was that many already for something that's happening in August.
Yeah,
Fucking sick.
So
Fucking
it's
sick.
gonna be fucking
Good for them,
phenomenal.
man.
Dude. Congrats
Good
to
for
everyone
them.
over there because
I
that's
wonder if Pac's going to come back. Is Pac injured?
dude. There you go. I don't know. Haven't seen him on
Bastard
TV.
Pac. I haven't seen him in a minute. He was. I mean, he was in the thick of it for that transatlantic title when that's what it was called.
Yeah.
Now it's the international title. Everyone, by the way, is listening to you and me talk about this just like Sam. They're like, I have no idea what these guys are fucking talking about.
Unless you actually,
our listeners are wrestling fans too, so that I take that back. Sam's the only one. Sam,
Sam, who do you
I
think's
can
gonna win?
listen. I don't have as much input, but I mean, I track what you're talking about. I know enough. I do watch when I watch AEW and
speaking of
WWE.
someone we haven't seen in a while on TV, and I'm really curious to ask you guys about this because maybe he's just been on Dark. I haven't been watching Dark, but Danhausen, because we have a fun story about last time we were in Las Vegas. Two fun stories actually. I sat next to we all sat next to his parents. They introduced themselves, and that was really cool. Shout out to your parents there, Danhausen. But my favorite thing was when we were walking down the strip while we were there. I think we were walking to T-Mobile to go see the pay-per-view, and I don't even remember why. But Sam was like, "Oh yeah, we'll get that Dan Hussein guy to do something." He's trying to make a joke, and use Danhausen as part of the joke. And like, doesn't he always say like Hussein? I'm like, he doesn't say any of those things, Sam. And his name is Danhausen, not Dan Hussein.
Dan Hussein. Saddam's
Although,
lost
it
brother.
would be amazing if he's been away from TV and he came back as Dan Hussein and had like a whole new gimmick. That would be pretty cool.
He's just like an Iraqi sympathizer now. And
Get back to like 1992 or whatever it was.
Hey, people love nostalgia, man. People love nostalgia.
And I will put money down that during the time that I found him, yes, I got the name wrong, but he was calling everyone, like if it was Brando, it would be like Brandohausen or Hussein. But and it was
like
like
Hussein though.
But
He
the
was,
point was
it
all
wasn't
over.
Hussein.
Yes, I did. And now I'm going to make an action figure of him as Dan Hussein and send it to him for his toy YouTube channel he opens. So.
I'm sure he's gonna love that. Oh, that reminds me on toys, Sam. You'll like this. Hotel I'm staying at. I don't want to give away. Whatever. They won't find my room. The hotel I'm staying at has a little comic book store in it. That was really cool. I went and walked through. I think I'm gonna grab something for Frankie before I leave.
Nice.
Had some old toys and collectibles in there too, and I thought of you when I went in there. So I'm gonna have to take some pictures and send it to you and see if there's anything you would like me to grab for you.
Speaking of, Sam, I went to a comic book store last week and I picked some up. These are the first.
Wow, what'd you get?
I think these are the first comics I ever bought. You're probably gonna make fun of me, but here.
Wow, this is a turn I didn't expect.
Well,
I used to have that. I had that as a kid. It's Ren and
You gotta hold it
Stimpy.
the correct way.
I now hold on. I gotta turn off my fucking.
I didn't even see it all, and I already knew what it was.
Yeah.
Ren and
Yeah.
Stimpy Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, it is.
What? They have a Ren and Stimpy Spider-Man?
Yeah, Marvel did a run of Ren and Stimpy, and that was a crossover. I had that. Yeah, I used to have that.
Spider-Man versus Powder Toast Man. I got a bunch, dude. I got a
sick.
bunch of different Ren and Stimpy ones.
Good thing those aren't worth any money the way you're.
So, funny enough, back I think it was like season 3 or season 2, before he got canceled, I reached out to John Kay because I wanted him to do a caricature of Johnny in the Ren and Stimpy signature style and something that we could use online or on T-shirts and just have that character before we developed Scully.
That's awesome.
Okay, Scully's amazing. Obviously, I'd prefer to keep using Scully, but before I forget, I was just thinking about this, Brando. We need, and we're going to do it. This is a little behind the curtain for y'all listeners right now. We need to verse ourselves in using AI to create cartoons and imagery for us for the show.
So it's funny you
we
say
could do
that.
that. We could do that with like clip outs and say stuff like animate a story that we're talking about, and we can use AI to do it. So why not? I know it would take you a long time if you just did it by yourself, but if you just, you have to be able to use AI as a tool, but you could get it done in a fraction of the time and effort that it would normally take.
So you want us to make ones like The Rock eating rocks? Did you guys see that one?
No, what?
It's the weirdest looking thing I've ever seen.
It's
Google
all
it.
Well, the other thing is if we get cool with it, we could also have Edsel Dope. We could talk to him. He's doing all this stuff where we can make it look like real and shit. Like
Oh,
we
there
could
you go.
use like some of our. We could have like some of the famous people that come on the show. We could like render something before we know they're going to come out and like show it to them on the show and make them do like some stupid shit that they would never actually say, but be like, hey, this is where it's going. You better be ready.
That's how we can get you canceled real quick.
Oh,
We
absolutely.
don't even have to use the real footage.
Yeah.
No, it'll just be you guys are just gonna. I know Brandon's gonna make me say something stupid. Now that I said that, he's gonna go figure out how to make me say something stupid in AI. It's amazing.
Did
We
you
were
see that
just-
email, Brandon, from Adobe, where like now it uses AI and for like Photoshop and stuff, you can say, "Hey,
Yeah.
I want this to be a reflection of a river here," and AI does it now. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it would be great to be able to use our Scully guy that Brandon developed and put him in real situations and shit like that. Maybe make a couple of Scully guys for you guys now that you're co-hosting the show, and like just putting us through some of the stories that we've actually said, just like for little things. Totally behind the scenes, everyone was just like, "Why are they talking about this right now?" I thought we were going to be talking about AEW's Double or Nothing, but hey, that's what you get. Enjoy.
All right. I love that. Let's do it. We just got to find the right systems and prompts to put in there. But yeah, I'm down. Let's go back.
Absolutely.
What do you think this fucking is with the static screen?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I think it can only mean one thing.
Max
what do you
Headroom.
think?
Yeah, Max Headroom, obviously. CM Punk.
What?
CM Punk.
You think CM Punk's coming back, huh?
Yeah, come on. That first 2 seconds of Living Color's Cult of Personality, they have that little static, right? His fucking entrance video has that little static. Like, this was an obvious tease that CM Punk is coming back.
That would be fucking huge if they did it in Vegas again too. I mean, everything's happened. It's all out there in the press and stuff. You and I, Brandon, talked about the possibility of this all being an angle anyway. I'm not saying that it was now because that's the longest angle I've ever seen and would be the most legendary thing I've ever seen in my life if they played it off as this long of an angle of him being gone.
Right.
It also might not be that far fetched. We did see him last year when he was wrestling, and you could tell he was injured still. You can tell he was still injured. There was some ring rust for sure at the very beginning, but he had knocked that off, and then there was something else. He was injured. Like, you could just tell. Now, did they create this angle to give him time off? Is that possible? I don't know. It's not very probable at this point because it has gone so long. I feel like probably more so, they had to let bygones be bygones, and everyone had to put on their big boy pants in the locker room and realize that, like, all right, that sucked, but what's good for business is that we got to keep going on. And you know what, Punk, if you want to leave, sorry, we have you under contract. Like, that, we don't want you to leave. So I'm sure there was a lot of discussions on that, just like any other sports franchise would have a discussion with their star player. Like the Lakers would have a discussion with LeBron, which they're going to have here soon because LeBron talked about possibility of retiring after he got swept. So I don't think he will, but I imagine, I mean, they asked him right after the fucking game, and then everyone goes like, oh, I can't believe he said that. It's like, he just got swept in a very tough battle against the Denver Nuggets, and you don't think he's even thought about retiring? He needs surgery on his foot. He's 38 years old. Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent there. But I bring it all back to say, I feel like if it is Punk, I think the more probable thing is that it was a business discussion that they all had internally to get past it. A lot of money moves that have to be done, and they came to that. However, what I want to believe is that it's the most brilliant angle I've ever fucking seen in my life. What say you guys?
Yeah, I that it's more fun that way, right? If it's an angle,
Yeah.
obviously, because yeah. But no, you're probably right. Like it was people putting their big boy pants on, a lot of money moves,
Hmm.
and at the end of the day, it comes down to business, man. Need
Yeah.
ratings, you need sponsors, and you got to get people in those seats and watching. So I don't
And,
know.
I mean, Punk didn't come back for the money, I don't think. I think Punk came back just like everyone else does. I mean, he sat at home for 10 years and was like, fuck, man, I still got it. I still want to go out there and do it. I don't fault everyone who gets like all upset about people just fucking either do one or the other, retire or don't. I don't want to hear about it anymore. Like, when you have a passion for something that you put in so much time for, and it's out of love, at least at the very beginning, you do it because you fucking love it. I can't imagine walking away from the stage. Like, I mean, I was on a temporary retirement there myself, and now that I'm back, I mean, and I didn't like it. I did not like my temporary retirement. You guys know, I fucking hated it. I wanted to
Yeah,
get back out there and do what I love to do, not for the money, because it was good for my personal well being, you know.
I think the
And
parallel we can make there is like CM Punk getting into MMA, that first fight. That's like you during the pandemic era. Those episodes.
Right.
that's fucked up. You gotta throw that image up there when he did his after fight. That's fucked up. Uh, that's funny
No,
though.
but
It's
to your
funny.
point, dude, look, you were only gone 5 years. You did this your entire career. You're on stage. You have that rush. You're doing it out of passion, and
Right.
you have that energy from the fans too, right? It's got to be the
100%.
same.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You could draw a lot of parallel aspects of this, right? That's what
Yeah.
I feel for guys like Punk who get dragged through the mud. I don't know if he's a good person. I've never met the dude. I don't know what the fucking whole beef was about or anything like that. I ain't choosing sides. I'm just saying, when you look at it as a fan or somebody else like that, like, why you got to put in your 2 cents like you know something about what's going on with this guy's
Yeah.
life? Like, no, dude. Like, he wanted to come back because he loves fucking wrestling. You know, like,
And,
let the
and
dude do what he's gonna do.
and unlike music with wrestling, you have a time limit. Like you can't do
Yeah,
that your entire life.
I think you have a time limit in
Right.
music too.
I
That's
don't
where it's a
know, dude. I
longer
see
one.
like the Rolling Stones
Stone,
go
I
out
know, but the Stones are the outliers. Let's be honest.
there.
But I mean, I would love to be the Stones era.
I
Fuck.
think you guys have to be
You have a
British.
shelf life if you don't get as big as the Stones, for
You have a
sure.
shelf life if you're not British. Look, Ozzy, you got the Stones, you got who else? I mean, come
I
on,
mean, the Eagles did it for a while. They're American,
man.
but but the thing is, you have to get to a certain level for that to make sense. Because you're only going to play stadiums like once. You're going to play like a show once a month, maybe twice a month, maybe, because you can do it. And you can just go out and do a stadium at like 80 years old. You need a couple weeks to recover from that at 80 weeks old or 80 years old, I think. So, anyways, Punk comes back. I want to believe it's an angle. It's probably not. I'm going to tell everyone it was an angle the whole time, though. It would be a big pop though for this Double or Nothing pay per view.
I don't
And
think
to
you're
be
getting.
honest,
I don't think you're getting
oh,
it.
now that I'm thinking
They just
about it,
announced the
like,
first collision is in Chicago.
yes, they did. Tony did announce that too. Collision is in Chicago. If CM Punk is back by then, that would be. I mean, they're not gonna be able to put it in the arena. They're gonna have to do like 2 nights of it. I mean, it'll be completely sold out. I mean, it will be anyway because Collision's a big announcement. But
Yeah,
on top of that, like, it would just make it that much more special.
yeah,
And as you're saying it now, man, what an angle to bring him back against if MJF gets through the fight and is still champion. They were pushing for that angle before all this shit happened last year. They were pushing for MJF versus Punk for the title. You could see it. The writing was
yeah.
on the wall. That's what they were going for. And then on both camps, like they're setting it all up like both camps were fucking wild, right? Like MJF has his problems, CM Punk has his problems. If this was all just the way that they played out this angle, it's ugh, it'd be it made me so happy to like live it and then like years from now listen to a podcast about them talking about how brilliant that angle was. Just like they do with like 83 Weeks, which I'm a huge fan of, So it's like, that would just be It would change the industry. I think it would change the industry because no one's done an angle that long. The longest one was Hogan Sting, and that was like 15 months that they did.
Do you think the Montreal Screwjob was an angle?
No, that was done. That was not an angle. It would have been brilliant if it was, but that was not. Do you not know what the Montreal Screwjob was?
I've heard you guys talk about it before, but I don't remember what it is for me and other.
I feel like I've talked a lot, and I got to drink my Manhattan. Brandon,
I'll do it. I'll give him a little background. So in short, Bret Hart was the WWF champion at the time. He was leaving to go to WCW and didn't want to drop the title at the pay-per-view because it was in Canada. So he agreed that he would come on to Raw the next night out of contract and just relinquish the title. WWE or WWF didn't trust that would happen, so they called.
I like what you're saying there. I just got through it. It's known that it was Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon.
Yeah, right.
Oh, so you're saying
on.
They said that the next day, yeah, you can do it, but then the ref called it as him losing.
So there was only a few people knew about it. So in the middle of the match, it was him versus Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels puts Bret Hart in his own signature move, the sharpshooter, and the referee calls that Bret has tapped out, even though he did not tap out. Visibly, you can see that he did not tap out. Shawn Michaels
within seconds of the hold being put on. Within like seconds of the hold being put on, like first under 5 seconds. As soon as the hold was on, the fix was in.
Yeah.
Ref says hit the bell.
Hit the bell. Shawn Michaels takes the belt. They have security there to take Michaels out of the arena because people are just getting fucking rowdy and throwing shit. Bret Hart's pissed. He destroys the announce table. He motions WCW into the camera.
Oh, really?
Hits on Vince McMahon. And yeah, then, backstage, Vince says, all right, you know what, whatever, and let's Bret punch him. So Bret gives him a fucking shiner, and it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
He actually punched him?
He didn't let him. That's not the story. I watched a few documentaries on this, actually, and including the A&E, rather, documentary on Bret Hart, and where they cover this, too. And Vince and him talk about it. Vince came in to talk to him, basically man to man, and he didn't just let him punch him. Bret came from across the room and fucking clocked him. And like, he was that pissed. People were rioting, dude. Like, people in Montreal were rioting. He's like the biggest Montreal.
And they're Canadian. They're
sweetheart.
super nice. They don't riot there.
That's their hero. And he just got fucked
But
over.
he is their Superman. He is the Canadian Superman. Think about the time. He was the Canadian wrestler that was the top man at WWF for years.
Oh, he's one of my favorites.
This is Hogan. This is Hogan of Canada.
He's one of the first 25 people to be on the Canadian Walk of Fame.
Oh, yeah. I saw that not too long ago.
I just saw it right before this podcast.
Who's the number one?
He was like number 2. He was like on the graphic.
Jim Carrey's probably number 1, right?
It's got to be that singer. Why am I drawing a blank? He had the amazing Valentine's Day special on Netflix a few years ago.
Michael Bolton?
Michael Bolton. He's definitely on
He's
there.
Canadian?
You didn't know Michael Bolton was Canadian, bro?
No. I mean, it's not surprising, but...
Yeah, dude, that's where the Canadian tuxedo came from. That dude wearing a fucking all jean outfit. That was it. Dude, by the way, side note, do you guys remember that Valentine's Day special?
Yeah.
No.
I watched it.
Brandon's too young. It was 5 years ago. He's too young. Go find the Michael Bolton Valentine's Day special on Netflix.
Or not. It's okay.
Get the fuck out of here, Sam. That thing was brilliant. I watched that like five times
it was funny.
on Valentine. Oh, it was brilliant. You're underselling it. You're underselling it. Speaking of selling it, so you asked me if that angle about that potential angle.
See. Can I ask? Well, I'll ask a wrestling question. I got my kids coming here from the school here in a minute.
I think some say hi.
You mentioned that Jack Perry was talking about driving into Vegas, which means he's probably coming in from Los Angeles. And I was thinking about it as you were talking. I was like, there's not very many from Los Angeles. No. Most of them are like Florida and other places, right? Or are there other wrestlers?
Usually Florida and Georgia.
Wrestlers?
Florida and Georgia are the two places where most wrestlers that I've ever met reside.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Because that's where the companies. That's where that's where the Mid-South was created back in the 60s and 70s. So, and it's just always been deep rooted there. Vince McMahon was the outlier coming in from the north from Connecticut. So,
And
That was
Hollywood
different.
Hogan was a sham. He was never actually in Hollywood. So.
He was in Hollywood, Florida. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, was it? There
Yeah.
we go.
No, seriously, that was.
Oh, really?
Everyone,
Yeah.
yeah. But they played the angle that way because he was doing movies at the time. That was the whole thing.
Interesting.
Everything about Hollywood Hogan was a parody of itself. That's why it was so
Oh, yeah.
fucking rad.
Hey,
that was my favorite Hogan moments for sure. I mean, I loved Yellow and Red when I was a kid, but when I was a teenager and he was heel, nothing beat that. Nothing
with
beat
that beard.
dude. The shoe polish beard was fucking
So good.
amazing.
So good.
Just straight up amazing.
Love it.
Oh, man.
Let's there. So what other matches we got? We got to let Sam go. So let's finish up some matches here real quick that we're excited about. There's what else? What am I missing, Brando?
I got the Social Outcasts.
Oh, the Outcasts. Yeah, the Outcasts. You got Hayter and Tony Storm in a rematch, right? Because Hayter took the title from Tony when they were, reversed heels and faces. So now it's the other side of the coin. Never thought I'd see Britt Baker be and Hayter be faces in the company. By the way, I just always assumed that they would always be bad guys. I was like, that's fucking rad. But that's neither here nor there. That should be a great match. I know you're a big fan of both of those ladies, Brando.
I am.
What's that?
I am.
Oh, I thought you said "bam" like fucking,
Yeah.
fucking Step Brothers. Bam! Oh man, it's gonna be exciting.
Who else is on the card? I really don't even know.
I was trying to. I mean, I was trying to think of everything. I think we covered all the ones that I was talking about or thinking about. If we missed any, you could probably just go see the entire card. I'm sure there's a couple that are still haven't even been announced. That will be announced when this podcast comes out or after Rampage. They'll probably have a couple things. I know they'll have undercards and whatnot. So everyone probably just needs to go over to AEW.com and find out who's all on the cards over there or their socials and everything like that. But again, to tie a bow on it, I'm excited about it the entire night. But as a friend, a close friend at this point, getting to see Darby in the main event at the pay-per-view, I think is what brings it all back home to me. And the time that the three of us spent together last year at Double or Nothing, something I'll never forget. Obviously, it was great hanging with you boys, going there, just the three of us dudes, getting a bunch of work done and enjoying wrestling. Hey, what's up, Soya? How you doing, buddy?
Well, their first cameo.
Oh,
Hey.
Charlotte's here too. We're talking wrestling. We're talking AEW. You guys excited for the pay-per-view this weekend? Can they hear me?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Yeah, maybe you guys come over to the house. Maybe we'll come over to the house and watch it with me. I got a couple things to do in the afternoon, but then which is why I'm not gonna make the flight out there. I really wanted to take Frankie out there, but we're gonna be watching at our house at the upstairs bar. So, Sawyer, you want to come over?
He's pumping his fist.
Opposite.
Oh, you're just looking at yourself. All right, narcissist, get out of here.
He's Lex Luger in it, dude.
Well,
That's a reference
to your point,
not
Johnny.
everyone will get.
Last year in Vegas was great. We recorded a bunch of stuff that never saw the light of day, but we just posted it all on YouTube. So go check it out. There's some weird shit that went down.
I wanted to ask you about that. Is the footage of me giving Nolan a ear piercing lost, or can we get that one too?
Ooh, yeah.
I don't have that one.
Maybe
It was on
Nolan
someone
has
else's
it.
phone. So check
I'll
your
look
phone.
it up.
It might be on there.
It's definitely not on my phone. I've already checked. I remember this now.
Yeah, check your phones because I don't have that one. That's the only
Well, the
one.
other thing that was funny is I have a video of Zach getting down to his underwear before coming in, and I just remember sitting in a
I don't know if
car
we need to post that to YouTube.
hiding and watching him just get naked, being like, "What is he doing?" And just for clarification for everyone, Darby and Nolan and Zach all showed up at the same time, and Darby said, "Hey, let me go in. Do something crazy when you come in." So that was his crazy thing. It was like, I guess I'll just get down to my underwear.
Yeah,
So
that was such a fun time. Such a fun time. Always will have fond memories of Double or Nothing. We could end it with I know our collective favorite memory from with a great quote from our good friend Tony Khan. Double or Nothing in Las Vegas. Forever.
Forever.
I fucking love it. I'm here for it. Let's fucking go, Tony. I love Double or Nothing every year in Las Vegas. Memorial Day weekend. It's a fucking blast. Take it from us. You got to go out. If you're not making it this year, make it next year. Make it the next year after that. It is going to be there forever. It's the best fucking pay-per-view of the year, I think. And you guys got to go check it out. I'm really amped for it. Thanks again for joining us here, talking wrestling and some other weird shit that we got into. So appreciate that. Until next time, boys. As always, cheers.
Forever.
Forever. Forever.